Emily Kay, your hostess to the world of STEM, and today I'm here with Diana, better known to the YouTube community as the Physics Girl. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Emily. I'm excited. I don't talk to people your age that much anymore, and I miss them. You're fun.
So I first just wanted to start with your background. So could you speak about your childhood and the role that STEM played in your childhood, if it played any role?
Yeah, I was a total math nerd, so it played a huge role. I discovered science, which I then went on to study in college. But it would happen from a love of math. I would come home and the first thing I would do when I got home was my math homework and then play piano and then go out and play. But it was always that order. Math homework, play piano, fun things.
What was your educational background, and how did that kind of lead you to get involved with STEM because you majored in physics?
Yeah. I decided to major in physics when I got to college. I had no idea, honestly, when I was going into college what I was going to study. Most people went in and they're like, I'm going to be a material scientist and I'm definitely going to work on the iPhone. And this was MIT, so a lot of them have gone on to be incredible engineers, and they really are working on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see in my Facebook posts is hey, I got a new job as project manager working on the iPhone. So I was not one of those people. I had no idea. I was either going to study material science or brain science or physics or math. I was basically went through all the majors and I was yeah, I could do that. But eventually I was no, physics is my favorite class, and I grabbed onto that and I decided to stick with physics.
That's great. And then how did majoring in physics lead you to the jobs that you've had in your career, and could you speak about what they have been?
Yeah. I've actually had a wide variety of jobs. So first job was astronomy research. So I was working at Harvard for a little bit after I graduated and studying stars. I was studying the oldest stars in the universe, which is really cool. Then second job after that, I was working as a programmer at GE. So we were working on making iPad apps. Also really fun, but I mean, it wasn't really for me. And I had always enjoyed doing science communication, doing science outreach. I was in love with Bill Nye when I was a kid. Not the guy, the show.
Yeah.
He was a little old for me back then. But I loved outreach. They were my heroes, like Bill Nye and Carl Sagan, and I wanted to do something like that. So I started this YouTube channel, and it slowly built up to more of a career. And so that's what I do now. I run a YouTube channel.
Talking about your YouTube channel, could you tell us what a typical day is like for you?
There is no typical day. Some days I am driving up to LA to go film with some random scientist. Some days I'm just sitting here in my office or on my bed. I spend a lot of time writing scripts on my bed. Some days it's filming outside. Sometimes it's in a studio. Sometimes it's just phone calls with all these different people that I want to collaborate with, or I want to brainstorm ideas with. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of editing. There's a lot of animation. I now have an editor and an animator, so I spend a lot of time coordinating with them and going back and forth and being no, there's a physics error. We have to fix that. So it's just been really fun working with people, but I still wear a lot of hats and travel a lot.
Could you talk about, for girls watching, how you took the channel that you started by yourself and built it up to have almost 700,000 subscribers, and you have over 50,000 followers on Twitter? So just how that really happened.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know. I got really lucky. I really love science. I'm very enthusiastic about it. It gets me excited to learn new things and to go back and think about the things that I've learned and try experiments. And I think that just finally to share that enthusiasm like we were talking before about like if you're a musician and you play the guitar, like it's easy to be like, hey mom, want to watch my concert, and sort of share your passion that way. And the same if you're a dancer, like you do all these performing arts. But with physics, it's like, mom, do you want to come to my lab and watch me code for a while? Like it's really hard to share that passion. So this was a really good way to do it. And I think that the excitement came across and it resonated with a lot of people. And it was like, yeah, there's some really awesome stuff in the world that you can talk about with science. And that's what I like to do, and I get excited when I do it.
What do you hope that girls can gain from watching your videos?
Ooh, I just hope that they gain some excitement. I just hope that they get curious, right? Like, I hope that, maybe this will spark an interest in physics and they didn't know what physics was, or maybe it's like, oh, now I have a question about this, and they'll follow up and they'll forget what other social pressures are going on in their lives, and just for a while, like, be curious about the world.
For girls that want to start a YouTube channel or organization to help girls in education, or just girls in STEM specifically, what piece of advice do you have for them?
That's a great question. That's a tough one. I mean, I think talking to girls, involving girls, is something that I haven't done as much. And I know that Physics Girl surprisingly hasn't been that successful at reaching girls on a wider scale, because I'm struggling against the YouTube algorithm that shows boys what they think they want to see, which is physics more than it shows girls in my videos. But I think I want to start some future projects, and what I would tell myself in the future, starting these new projects, reaching out to girls, is like, involve other girls, talk to them, figure out why they're leaving science, figure out what they're interested in and how to bring in their interests with a new project or with a new show or a website or whatever it is.
In your opinion, how can society improve their efforts in supporting girls and women who want to go into physics or just STEM in general?
Oh man, I just wish that there were so many more movies about women engineers. I wish that, so much of what we get about like what women can do and what men can do and what jobs are right are like reality TV shows and movies and like superhero movies, whatever it is. I wish that we had more of those showing awesome, badass, cool women being engineers and being scientists and being like the smart ones, the quirky ones, the like something more than the heroine or the the damsel in distress that needs to be saved.
Why should girls be interested in physics and continue to pursue physics after grammar school and high school?
So physics as like a study, when you're studying it in school, I personally think it's just really fun. Like, it's cool. You get to ask a lot of questions about how the world works. You get to sort of be curious and learn a lot about the universe itself. But what you learn in physics is not necessarily what you're going to use and apply to real life. But that's okay. Like, that happens with almost every degree. You learn how to work together, you learn how to problem solve, you learn how to think a certain way, and the skills that you learn as a physicist, getting a physics degree, teach you how to think about problems in so many different kinds of jobs when you leave school. So I make a YouTube channel now. I'm not a physicist. Yeah. Granted, it's about physics, but like the way that I schedule my time is something that I learned while getting my degree. The way that I think about structuring things and communicating is something I learned in some of my science communication classes while getting a physics degree. So you can take classes that sort of complement your degree, but the core of physics is really about problem solving and thinking and applying tools to get answers to questions you have about the world.
So if you were to be given a chance to convince girls to go into physics, and you had the opportunity to just tell them one topic in physics, like to research, and they would be interested, what is the topic that you would give them?
Ooh, okay. I would give them neutron stars because that's something that I learned about when I was in high school, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Because at some point in high school, I learned that atoms, that make so all of us, atoms are mostly empty space, which blew my mind.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy that we are mostly empty space. Like between the protons and electrons, they're so far apart. It's like they're not even there. Then I learned that neutron stars go the other direction. They're completely opposite of that. They are so dense that the neutrons are basically touching. So I found that out at some point in high school, and it blew my mind. I'd say like just learning about like what makes us up, and then what makes up some of these crazy things like black holes and neutron stars. Those are fun topics.
If a girl wants to go into physics, what is one piece of advice that you have for them?
Ooh, that's a good question. Definitely sharpen your math skills. I would say that physics is difficult. It's definitely a tough subject. But I think that a lot of times people teaching physics or people talking to prospective physicists use that as like a warning, which I think is super irresponsible because like people, once you get in there and you start doing it, you're gonna recognize that it's hard and it's challenging. We don't have to scare off the people that like think too soon it's gonna be, before they even try it, it's gonna be too hard for me. So I would say don't think that it's too hard for you. Girls are just as capable as boys at doing this kind of hard math and doing physics. Just try it out, like give it a chance and sharpen your math skills because that's going to help get through the physics problems. But definitely give it a try. Don't let the boys scare you by saying it's too hard for girls because that's just not true.
Well, I want to thank the physics girl for doing this interview today and talking about physics and her channel. And for any girl watching, if you want to learn more about physics and all of these different topics and cool questions that are talked about on her channel, please go to the Physics Girl channel on YouTube. And again, I'm Stemly K, your hostess to the world of STEM.